the attacking red line, defending.
I think it's like
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for joining me each and every time. First things first, people, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, of course, good night. Now, appreciate you lot tuned in on Twitch and on YouTube. Make sure you're following and subscribing on both. And I appreciate all of you lot tuned in again. First things first, the very fact that we're alive, we're well, or whatever, the very fact of I'm speaking and you're listening, we have to be thankful for that. RIP Jamal Edwards as well, gone before his time. I'm 31 years of age, and this is why you need to cherish every moment. And this is why I always say, first things first, I hope you're all doing well and safe, and I hope you've all got your health, people, because we take it for granted. On top of that, it's Monday. Let's move that much closer to our goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, and them things there. Hope you had a great weekend and things like that. Hope this week and this weekend to come is even better, people. I hope first things first. I hope Thursday we beat Wolves. But yeah, man, hit the like button if you haven't. I go live at 4:30 on Twitch to play Football Manager. Appreciative to everybody who's locked in right now and everyone who was on my 10 a.m. Twitch stream today. Tomorrow, people, I'm live at 10 a.m. on Twitch, 7:30 to watch the Champions League as well. So make sure you're following me on such. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Defo Arsenal fans, we beat Brentford. We got 3 points. I know Spurs won. I know United won. At least West Ham dropped points, but we're doing all right in relation to the fight for top four. Let's hope that it continues. Come on, appreciate you for being a supporter, first things first, and also a member. And like you said, cheers to another beautiful week. First things first, that's all we can hope for. Having a great lunch of rice, chicken, pear juice, avocado juice, while watching this. Fair play. Big up yourself. Sounds exotic, Omar. You shameless individual. Josh, appreciative. And Mr. Adlib23 again. Shout out to you. And you're right, Odegaard was on crud on Saturday. And I mean, I'm an Odegaard apologist, Odegaard's my sort of player. He's poetry in motion, got a wand of a left foot, good in tight spaces, all these things. I think, as I've said before, I think it goes against him that he's a pretty boy and, blonde hair, blue eyes. He's not he doesn't fit the rugged sort of look, but I think he's down for that. I like him a lot as a footballer. I think there's a lot with him. I think there's a lot of scope to grow. I think considering Arsenal do a lot of terrible business, 30 million euros for him is a steal. You're going to make that money back when the time comes. He's going to grow on importance. Like I know we waffle a lot about Smith-Rowe and Saka, arguably, and Martinelli as well. The Haaland demons, they're getting crazier and crazier. I know Arteta's been speaking about Smith-Rowe's ability to play as a false nine, and he did that against Villarreal. But number 10, potentially a number 8, and that inverted left wing, that's him. Saka, left wing, right wing, that you can do a job at fullback, but that's you. Scoring goals, assisting, their potential is limitless. We hope that Saka gets his new deal. Throw Martinelli into that mix. We're eating. But I don't think people talk about Odegaard as well in that regards. I know he's a bit older, but he's still more or less a young man in his footballing development. He's extremely more experienced than certain other individuals in the mix of this club and whatnot. And he's one of the most experienced individuals within our team, full stop. But I think he's got scope to grow. I don't think he's ready to play that number 8 role for us yet. I think he's got to perfect he can do it game to game, but consistently an option there. I think there might come a time where he can be a consistent option there. Right now, we just need to keep letting him do what he's doing in that 10, feeling important. He's found a role for himself, he leads by example, he presses well, he's got good vision. He's starting to take on more responsibility. For me, it feels like the penny's dropping with Odegaard, that he gets the, playing to the whistle. You get fouled, foul a man back, and all of these sort of things. I think the penny's starting to drop for Odegaard, and I really think he's got, the potential is limitless. I'm not here to say they're going to be the best in the world, this, that, and the third. And potential is just potential. Respectfully, at Arsenal, I've seen potential at many a times ultimately amount to nothing. We have to keep developing. We have to keep pushing these players. We have to keep surrounding them with quality. But I'll be lying to you if I didn't say, Odegaard, he's having a good season, and I'd say I think he could be the creative hub of this team. Him and Smith-Rowe could do the thing. Saka is devastating. Martinelli's there. For me, if we go away from the attacking guys, I'm very excited about Gabriel. I think he's an absolute monster of a centre half. I love what Ramsdale's brought to the table. I love for a different way. Like obviously Smith-Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, these guys get me off my seat and things. But same way I love Tomiyasu equally, because I know what I'm getting with you. I know I've got confidence that you're gonna give me nothing below a 6 out of 10. Obviously play higher, but what I mean by that is I know you're gonna put in a relatively decent performance defensively, and there's that stability. So I like what we're doing, but you know, potential is just potential, and I've seen us have projects that ultimately amount to nothing. But I do love Odegaard as a footballer. I do like what he's bringing to the table, man. Obviously, Odegaard, you just to go to the next level, you want to know that it's the Odegaard show. I want him to do this against the bigger teams. I want him to do this consistently. I want him to keep taking on greater importance. I want everything to run through him, sort of thing. Just like with everyone, really and truly. Not that he doesn't take responsibility. I would say for Mikel Arteta, for me personally, more so next season, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not really I know sometimes you have to drop deep, but I think we kind of harm Odegaard. He's always dropping deep. He's always on this right-hand side. Then, you know, his best actions are when he's closer to the goal and he's on the counter-attack and he's pressing and things. And we need our attacking players to stay at the final third. And I think a big problem is we ain't really got that midfield spot on, really. You know, Gabriel, Partey and Xhaka, they've had good moments. They've had bad moments. If we just was to wrap it, it's inconsistent. And Edu and Arteta have bet on that midfield, and they betted on it again and again. And I think there's a statistic. Where did I see? Let me see if I found it, people. I don't know if I've actually still got it, but there was something in relation to Xhaka and Partey, how they actually haven't played that many games together, which again kind of tells you that it's a bit of a myth. I don't even think I'm going to be able to find it, people. It was a good statistic as well, man. Did I screenshot it? You know, you're just casually looking at stuff. Jarring, man. I swear I sent that to myself. And now it's just gone. Oh, no, it's here now. It's here. Sorry, people. I knew I sent it to myself. I weren't bugging out. Yeah, I knew I weren't bugging out, as I was saying. If you look at this, people, again, I don't know if this is true. You know, people make up. I'm not trying to criticize this individual or say anything. I just know people make up stats all the time. But Partey and Xhaka have played together only 9 times this season. All 9 were in the league. In that time, we've had 7 wins and 2 defeats. Goals for is 23. Goals against is 7. You know, that's decent. But I think statistics mean a lot. The first thing for me is there's 38 games. We've played 20 odd. They've only played together 9 times. Now, there's been injuries, there's been AFCON, there's been suspensions, there's been a variety of reasons, but fundamentally, a midfield pivot that we bet on, and we said this is the one where Lokonga would have to, you know, Lokonga is the backup, that they've been absent. So that's a big problem as to why we haven't been 30. But I do think, you know, where we haven't been 30 and the problem's concerned, but this is where I'm at on the best of days when these two are fit. Respectfully, as good as they've been and as good as they've had good games and bad moments, there's question marks over them and they've barely been fit. Is this a coincidence how this kind of transpires towards our lack of goals and things like that for all our clean sheets? So more so in the summer, I feel to get the best Odegaard, the Smith-Rowe and Saka and all these guys and just a better team, we need that number 8. We need that number 8 where we're in games like Liverpool where we've got no outlet, where we've got a midfielder that can take a couple more touches, win a foul or get us off the field. We need a more creative man in there. Like our midfield, we don't lock it down like that. And I don't know what our midfield is. We ain't got thugs in the midfield. We ain't got artists there. And I keep saying it's like we've got the defense now. It's still got a long way to go. We're still conceding stupid goals, still got habits, but there's building blocks. We're not all the way there up front. We're not scoring goals. We haven't got a striker that scores goals. Saka and Smith-Rowe, they're still learning. Like even if we're real, even though Saka scored, the finishing's still not patterned in that game and in general. But I think there's positive signs. We're not going to see a better defense or a better defensive collective performance from this team and standards raised and likewise attacking until that midfield's addressed. Now, it seems like Partey's playing more of a 6 now than this box-to-box trying to do everything, and he's got a reliance on Xhaka. We'll have to see. I don't think we can get too much there, but I do think, you know, it's not even I think, we all know midfield up front, their priorities in the summer. For right now, they're irrelevant. It is what it is with Lacazette and Keita and etc. As I said, we can talk about why we should have bought someone in January, why we should have bought someone in the summer, how much of a missed opportunity it might be if we don't get top 4. But right now, it's irrelevant. We have to work with what we've got, you know. And I would say, I feel a lot of fans are doing Lacazette dirty. I don't think fans are wrong for saying why you should score and stuff. But when things were going well, Laka was doing this general play, linking up, pressing, missing chances, respectfully to Laka. People were putting up with it. And I feel looking at the Brentford game, I do feel we've got, as Arsenal fans, I'm not saying be ridiculously positive or ridiculously negative. I just feel, regardless of according to the result, is whether people want to listen. Like even some of you that are locked in right now, some of your usernames, I see you lot, when we're losing, you're waffling and going on and on. When we're winning, it's shut up about things. And I feel, first things first, the penalty shouts. I know Arsenal fans, some men are saying we had 5 to 6 penalty shouts. Some men are saying 3. I think there's at least 3 where I've seen them given. I defo feel there's one that we defo should have had. That Visa one, is it Visa, whatever his name is, forgive me. It's hit his hand. Harsh, but it's hit his hand. What's the difference between that and the Spurs City game where Romero? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that we red and you can see the cannon on the crest. I don't know. But we talk about that. We scrutinize Lacazette's chances. We might, ifs and buts are not facts, but we might get onto our team for conceding that cheap goal. So there's a lot of positives, but these are the things we've got to crave. And to go to the next level, can we kill off Brentford in that first 20 minutes? Can we keep our high standards when we deserve a clean sheet, walk away with one? In the same way we're happy about how Odegaard was doing well, conducting and the lovely little flicks. We even Ramsdale a couple bad boy passes, even though his passing was a bit inconsistent. Saka and Smith-Rowe doing what they're doing. Pepe, brief little link-up play with Odegaard. Xhaka and Partey. As much as we waffle about that, us as a fan base and us as a team, we need to be as hard. We need to be vexed that we never got a clean sheet, sort of thing. You know, we need to be vexed about that. And that's the standards, you know, managing the game well, adapting when we're tired, smelling blood and going for it. And again, on top of the smelling blood and whatnot, it's going to always take us a while to break teams down because I don't feel we have the personnel to do it. Like, don't get it twisted. Smith-Rowe, all these guys operate in the pockets. They do their thing. But again, I think it comes down to the pivot, you know. So that's why for me, I don't really expect goals because I still don't think we have a goal scorer. Shout out to Smith-Rowe, but you know, he's still learning the tricks and trades. The plan for him is to score as many as you can and then do it again next season. And the rest of them, we ain't got a goal scorer, we ain't got a conductor. It is what it is. So it is what it is. And I'm happy that we won. We go again against Wolves on Thursday. Hopefully we can do a thing. What are you lot saying? Keep your opinions coming. That's hopefully the progression next season, killing off those games in the first 45 with chances we do create. I think we need to get personnel and I think we just simply need better players, more all-rounded players. And I feel a lot of, I'd still think, as much as I criticize or praise Arteta, I still think the best football teams and footballers work things out themselves. And I think as much as Arteta can say stuff, he can't go into the ring with you, go onto the pitch. And I still think we're still looking at one or two. Odegaard does it, you know, he does it. I still think we're looking at one person to kind of set it and whatnot, where we need to work things out and micromanage ourselves. You obviously see incidences of that, but you're right. Hopefully next season, that's the progression, which again would help us a lot if we had a clinical striker and probably not that number 8. It seems like the fan base always wants to silence people who are critical of errors we show in our wins. You can be happy with the W, but never be happy with the performance that could have been better. I wouldn't even say I'm not happy. It's just evident elements of improvement. That's the only way to get better. We cry about complacency, and when we lose, we waffle about everything. When we win, it is what it is. It's a bit like the owners, you know. I'm not saying it's wrong, but when things are going all right, man, are not doing the picket fence thing. If things go wrong, there's question marks, and it should be a healthy what's happening here? Sorry, people, my screen messed up. It should just be a healthy discussion. The problem is, you said you've got agendas. I feel at Arsenal and in general, I feel there's toxic negativity and toxic positivity within the fan base. Both are lies. You know, the truth is somewhere in the middle. We definitely need an upgrade. Need to upgrade that pivot. Both Partey and Xhaka aren't reliable for a whole season. RP, you're right. I got faith in Partey. It's more of a depth thing. For Xhaka, he's durable. He's there all the time. I just don't think you're as progressive as we require and as we need. But fair play, did your thing. Morning, DG. You know I don't like these ifs buttons. You said if questions. You said if we get top 4, should White-Gabriel partnership continue into next season? Well, yeah, it's the partnership that, you know, if you spent 50 million on a man, and how much did Gabriel cost? Like 20, 30? I could be wrong. That's about 80 million on 2 centre-halves that at the elementary stage of their careers. If you're not planning to make them linchpins, then what's the point? And I don't want to praise Arteta for this really, because it's you should. I don't like to praise people for handling business really and truly. But is it any coincidence you're picking the same guys? They're playing consistently. Relationships are developing. Fluidity is improving. You're starting to see people understanding each other's games now. You know, people are making runs because they might know their brethren does a certain thing and they can pick the ball out. Equally, the guy who's made the run knows my man can play that part, so I'm going to do it. So equally, certain man know my man can't play that part, so let me try something else. these relationships are building up over the field, and centre half is no different. So I'd say yes. Where I'm a bit different is I want Saliba to come into this and give a headache now, as you should have. It's a squad game. And if I'm honest, I think, like I said, number 8 striker, backup right back. These are areas of more pressing need. We've technically got a goalie. If I could, then I would want like a little 26, 27, up to 30-year-old centre half. He's probably not going to be first choice, but there's an air of reliability in there. When he's thrown in, is kind of cool, because I do think Gabriel and Saliba, as good as they are, and Ben White, the age they're at, these lot are going to make mistakes, and it's no criticism. They should make mistakes, but obviously you've got to factor in the points you lose. Like, we made a mistake and we conceded against Brentford. Ultimately, it came to nothing, but we've got a young squad. You've seen Lokonga make mistakes that's led to goals. Tavares, even Odegaard sliding in the box against United, and there's bare other people. This is the territory we're at because these players need to learn. Ultimately, these things cost you points. So where we can start to plug the gaps a bit, if you could get an experienced man, sometimes it's not always about giving young players experiences. Like you always hear me say, I'm on Martinelli through the 9, playing number 9 every day of the week, because long term it's going to help him. Sometimes you might just need Lacazette. We need 3 points. This is the thing. They got strong and whatnot defenders. We need to run with that. So it's one of them ones, man. Morning DG, morning Dow Square. 100% on Odegaard due to his natural desire to protect the ball. He's playing a bit safe at times, but I think he'll start to open up as he gets loads more to come from him. I don't even think he's playing safe. I just think sometimes, certain men are not levels to do certain passes. Xhaka Partey working well, but we definitely need an upgrade on him. At 23-24, 30 million for Odegaard is one of the best transfers we have done. Don't know what Real Madrid were thinking. I remember last season he was absolutely priority. Now we're seeing the results, and that's it. Sometimes we've taken gambles, which we're taking a gamble, not doing stuff in the market. In the summer, we took a gamble because Odegaard could have just said, I'm staying at Madrid. Clearly, there was some encouragement, and we got the deal done. And for me, as much as, it's another thing I can praise or critique Arteta on positively. You got your man. We're seeing the results, really, and whatnot. So long may it continue. And again, Odegaard's not the finished article. He's in his early 20s. Well, whatever, early to mid 20s. So how are we going to take him to the next level, really? I'm not saying he's... Listen, if you want to be mentioned in the same category as David Silva, you've got to do it, innit? Do you have the potential to maybe end up there? Only you can decide. But I always hear Arteta say the best man best midfielder, this and that, was David Silva that he's seen. Arteta, show him the guide points, Smith-Rowe, show him the guide points. Martinelli, you've worked with some of the top strikers, Arteta, show these man the guide points. He can't do it all alone. It comes down to his coaching, and shout out the coaching staff, because certain man bought a new set piece coach. They only scored their first set piece of the season last night against last afternoon. Our set piece coach has improved. So again, building blocks are taking shape, but it needs to go through to the end, really and truly. I think our build-up play with Laka is too slow. When we play low blocks, we give them time to get in their block. We need directness of Smith from Martinelli and Saka with Odegaard in behind. I agree, but sometimes you need a focal point, and sometimes you for 90 minutes you can't just play forward thinking football, just direct and whatnot. And sometimes it goes against us. I think our build-up play is slow primarily because of using the middle of the park fundamentally. To be fair, once it hits Laka, that's one thing Laka does all right. The rest are on their bikes because they know Laka's not running in behind. They've made a run. We need an upgrade. We need an 8, to get to progress the ball better. Odegaard won't have to drop deep. When we lost Santi, Ozo had to drop deep as well. Exactly. We see it all the time, not just at our club, elsewhere, really. Laka don't need to start against Wolves. We don't need slow link-up play. We need Martinelli up front and Odegaard feeding passes to our front three. I'd probably start Lacazette, really. Just because I don't think Laka's going to be as effective as Odegaard off the bench. And Martinelli deserves to play off the left, but I'm keeping Smith-Rowe, I'm keeping Odegaard. I think Laka balances the team. He does allow the centre-halves to venture forward, but Martinelli at times, the trick gets played out like it did against Wolves. He gave Semedo a problem, but it does kind of get played out. We've got good options, man. I wouldn't say we're necessarily at harms with playing Martinelli or Lacazette. It really is either or the other. But the thing is, if we're going to play Martinelli, what I want to do is see our team commit. Like you said, it's balls in behind. Are we really going to do that? Or are we going to stick to what we've been doing already? I don't think we're going to see too much change. Lacazette's our captain as well. He's more than likely able to play. Morning, DG. Blessings to you, my guy. Blessings right back at you. The top 4 race really is heating up. Wolves came out of nowhere. Now they're in with a decent shout. Exactly. We need that Johnny Evans type, but we turned our nose up. To be fair, I turned my nose up at him when we tried to get him for at West Brom, and he did all right for Leicester. He can be meaty, but we got meaty legends. You know, half these teams have had meaty players. As long as you're consistent, is what it is. Laka needs to score more. I mean, with 6 months, with 5 months left of his deal, for someone that's never scored, I hope he goes on a purple patch, but it's a myth, man. It's a myth. Laka needs to score more, but fans need to realize how important he is in bringing our wingers into the game. I mean, and that's where I am at 2 stages. You know, he does give you that. I don't think Martinelli can do that as consistent as Lacazette, but at the same time, we overcompensate on that stuff. As a striker, you should be able to do that. Really and truly, if I'm honest with you. But we'll have to see, man. Hope you're good, doing well and safe, Alan. R.I.P. Jamal Edwards as well, man. Life's too short. Hit the like button if you haven't. People appreciative to you lot tuned in. So yeah, man, that was a good way. That was a good way to start this, man. You know, I don't know where we went, what to call that timestamp, but that was a good little discussion we went on, people. One love to you lot. Let's just call that Arsenal thoughts. Let's just call that Arsenal thoughts. I want to find his comments on. I really want to find these comments. Here we go. I mean, I don't think Arteta is wrong, but I'm not really on it, man. I'm not really on it. We tried it against Villarreal, it didn't bang, but we'll get into that. Laka's link-up play is good, but it's nothing spectacular. It's not enough to compensate for his lack of goal threat. DG, do you have a personal number 1 target for the summer? No, because I'm not involved in any transfer dealings, so I don't matter what I have. Nope. Morning, DG. We should have gone for, I can never say his name, Weghorst in Jan. He cost like 12 million. Honestly, he would have given us a different dimension. What do you think? And now I'm all right. Shout out to what he's doing at Burnley, though. Could have been used in the squad, but myth. Morning, DG. All right. Firstly, RIP to Jamal Edwards, gone too soon. Again, we all echo those thoughts. What was your take on Xhaka dismissing the armband? Personally, don't think he should be in the captain's hierarchy. I mean, what I can't deny is Xhaka is a leader. Whether we should, be over the microscope, whether he should be one of the only leaders, whether we put him on and off the field in an unnecessary position of importance is another thing. But I can't sit here and say this 29. One thing I've never had to worry about Xhaka is his integrity. Yeah, he told fans to F off, but I've never had any doubts that this man has wanted. He might not be good enough. I might have to question him, but I've never had any doubts if this man wants to do this thing for Arsenal. And I do think he's got the mentality. I know I always make fun of the fact that his brother, he held the keys for his younger brother or older brother sat and that makes him a leader, but he is a leader. You know, he clearly is someone that one of the first names on the team sheet, rightly or wrongly, by Arteta. He's someone that everyone unites around. So I can see why he's part of the leadership group and just how he looks as an individual. The armband, he would have been damned if he does, damned if he don't. If you pull it on, fans are going to say, oh, well, the very fact that he's wearing it is a problem. You know, again, at the time I said there could be a lot of reasons. Maybe he genuinely didn't want to wear it. Maybe, you know, there was someone else that's meant to wear it. Maybe he was too focused on the game. Maybe he was just disrespecting the team. Arteta's come out and said Tierney was the next in command. I think it's not you necessarily, but I think it's this Arsenal fan thing we do where, like I said, there's fans that go over the top and are toxic positive, and there's toxic negative. Man, have to make something out of nothing. When things are actually something, fans don't want to make nothing. So I don't think it was a thing really and truly. In the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of other problems, if I'm completely honest with you. It is what it is. Bro, even more experienced centre-halves make mistakes. As a centre-back, you're more likely to make mistakes here and there over any other position. Disagree. I think midfield, if anything, as long as it's consistent, that's all we can ask for and hope. And that's what I'm talking about. I've literally said they need a scope to make mistakes. But at the same time, we need to remember this ain't a play crash. You need 3 points. Obviously, you know, an experienced striker is going to probably miss chances. A young striker is probably going to miss chances, but some are going to do it more than others. Everyone makes mistakes. You know, look at the goals conceded that experienced players. Look at what the goals that were conceded between Leeds United and Manchester United. Look at the goal conceded. Well, Newcastle scored really. So I agree with the general point, but I'm not sure where that's applicable. You know, what's already understood doesn't have to be explained. But moving away from all of this, people, let's get into some of this sort of stuff that's going on in the papers. Let's call this 25, 30. So yeah, man. Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, etc., etc. It's a lose-lose, man. Xhaka is defo a leader. Eddie should have known who was next in line. Eddie kills me. Eddie tried to wear it on a sly one. He was killing me, you know. But anyways, really living the Henry dream. Apparently, Mikel Arteta has spoken about Odegaard's captaincy shout. He's spoken about Smith-Rowe in this false nine. And obviously, Fabian Ruiz has been linked to Arsenal yet again. I personally don't think we're getting him, but for what it's worth, of course, I would like Fabian Ruiz. He can dictate the tempo of a game. He can play progressive passes. You know, he's got a good passing range. His mentality's there, 25 years of age. I've been saying it, everything just points to it. Where I disagree with it is I don't trust anything that comes out of the Italian publications now. We've been taking around the houses for Arthur Melo, for Vlahovic, for Locatelli, for Xhaka going to Roma, and I'm sure there's plenty more. And if I'm him, respectively, I'm not saying that he wouldn't want to sign for Arsenal, but if I'm leaving, Napoli very well might be in the Champions League next year. So I might run down my deal that closes in 2023. But I would want to make the move to, if I was him, the PSGs, maybe a bigger club in Italy, the PSGs, one of the big boys in Spain, in Real Madrid or Barca if they want him, maybe the bigger boys in Liverpool and City if they want him. I would want to move to a team that's challenging for things. Respectfully to Napoli, they're kind of what in the territory Arsenal used to be in that we might qualify for stuff, we might play good football, but probably not attributing to winning things. And I'm not, we got the London aspect, even Arsenal might not even be the first choice. Again, if you're the first club you'd probably pick is probably Chelsea, respectfully. If you remove everything away from it, that's probably the place you need to be going in it in terms of winning and whatnot. Of course, there's plenty of things you could sell to him. If we are in the Champions League, we could give him more favorable terms as well. Obviously, he can be a main player. You won't probably be a main player like that. The other boys, 25 years of age, the building blocks, etc. I'm not necessarily optimistic if I was Fabian Ruiz that I would move to Arsenal, but you never know, miracles in life do happen. And on the topic of that, people, we might as well start there again to go over what we last time we spoke about him. You read some articles, not that these are any creditable places, but in the last hour just before coming online, Barcelona are reportedly set to face competition from PSG in their pursuit of Napoli and Spain midfielder Fabian Ruiz. Now, you heard we're in talks. We're going to get into it. We're in talks with him. Arsenal have been used to get interest from other people in the past. We need to look at it with a pinch of salt. We should have bought this done in 2018 when he was at Real Betis. But, if you've got PSG and Barcelona interested in you, not that Barca are in the best of shape at this moment, Arsenal stand no chance, really, respectfully. So, yeah, we all know his final year of his contract and things like that. He's a baller, man. I don't think he's world class and that, but he's pretty damn good. I'd be extremely happy with him, people. And then you look at this, apparently he's reportedly eager to join Barcelona or Real Madrid in the summer. I mean, if they don't put offers on the table, you might interest, but it is what it is. And, we've been linked with Fabian Ruiz, Telemans, Neves, Basuma, Douglas Luiz, and obviously Ruiz here as well, all contracted until 2023. So, in true Arsenal nature, he probably won't get any of these. It will probably be someone else, but he's got a wonder of a left foot, really. And on that, Arsenal in talks to sign 60 million Napoli midfielder Fabian Ruiz. Arsenal have begun talks to sign Napoli midfielder Fabian Ruiz, according to reports. Arteta was keen in January to strengthen. It didn't happen. According to the Mirror, Arsenal have already held initial talks with Ruiz's representatives to discuss a potential move to the Emirates at the end of the season. So, I mean, are we signing two? Because remember, the Telemann links are gone, but we spoke with Telemans at London Coley over a summer move. It'd be lovely to bring him. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Whether Edu and Co are able to get this over the line, I don't know. If I was Fabian Ruiz, even if we are in talks and Arsenal are moving in a progressive way, putting myself in his shoes, would you want to commit to Arsenal? Obviously, Arteta could probably gas you about how he improves you, the London aspects, the prestige of what Arsenal used to be and what Arsenal could be in the future. These are all things I'm not dismissing. But away from all of that Arsenal stuff, we're not the biggest and baddest at this moment in time. We're not the most exciting of projects. We can't necessarily guarantee at 25 he'll be looking for trophies. We might be able to give him a decent salary as well. And also, you don't know where Arsenal are going to finish. as great as the sentiment is, you've seen Arsenal have been getting relegated. We're getting top four. Man are looking at second and third. Now we're at where we're at. The sentiment changes. I'm sure you would listen to Arsenal. You might even consider Arsenal a backup choice. But and to be fair, you don't know if Napoli are going to be in the champs. But if you don't know if Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League, in the Europa League, or in no Europe, regardless of if you might be enticed to sign, would you be so forthcoming? I'm not too sure, people, really and truly. So, yeah, man. Listen, Arteta's a big fan. I'm a big fan of him as well. And we're a fan of good ballers, innit? 16 million, 25 years of age, a baller. He's got my seal of approval if it was to happen, innit, people? Talks have allegedly broken down over a new contract. We have, as I just said, seen he's been linked with other clubs. So, pinch with salt, just like the Telemann stuff. Again, we can get linked with all these guys. Make sure someone comes in and Edu, I hope you're putting the feelers out. I hope you can get him. But if not, go elsewhere. Away from all of that, though, people, from one Spanish international to another, apparently Arsenal are interested in Morata still, regardless, people. And to be fair, he works well with a striker, but I'm not really on it. For what it's worth, Arsenal are interested in signing Morata in a sensational summer transfer. I don't know about sensational. According to this Italian publication, the Gunners have made him one of their targets going into the summer. Listen, if you don't want to bring in a striker that's going to just score goals, and you can do your Morata thing, I'm well aware in the day and age now. I think strikers have an unfair one. I feel a man could score bare goals, 20 league goals plus 30 goals, whatever. Guys will say, but he doesn't drop deep, and the heat map shows he ain't got assists and goals aren't enough. Equally, there'll be guys that might give, Firmino, Lacazette, other guys as well that give you a lot to your team, pressing, working hard, bringing other people in. But people say, boy, you don't score enough. So I don't know. It's a bit unfair. I do think you need to score goals, no matter how much. Strikers are only as good enough if they score goals, really, to some level. But at the same time, it's what you're doing when you're not scoring. And if Morata's the first name to come through, if it was to be at 29 years of age, we know what we're getting. He's not going to score goals. We're kind of doing the Lacazette thing again, really. We need to sign a goal scorer, really. It's just problematic. And at 29 years of age, but I'm trying to finesse Arsenal for a 3-year deal or something, or some big wages. I don't think he fancies it. But again, sometimes you might not have a choice. If you could twang them and grab him on loan, why not? But we've been linked with Morata, people. We could all see why he's been linked, but it's a bit of a myth. Ruben Neves is still a target, and we watched Neves against Telemans. I prefer Ruben Neves, how he plays over 90 minutes. He does less spectacular stuff, but and I think Telemans goes through the motions, but I just think Telemans is a good player. Yesterday, I was more impressed with Ruben Neves. I think Telemans had a poor game, if I'm honest with you. Really good, bad, and the ugly is how I describe it. But yeah, man, that's that one. What's this saying? This is just the same old thing about our interest in Morata, people. So yeah, it is what it is. 29 million. I don't know about that. That's a bit of a myth for me. So let's start closing some of these things. Pardon me. We've also been linked with another Middlesbrough man. No, it's not Spence. We've been linked with Jones, who's getting interest from Arsenal and Tottenham. We saw him play against United. He did quite well. He's pulling up with cramp. He can play as a winger as well as a fullback. I'm not too sure that this is the guy. He's played quite well in this 3-5-2 system. If I remember correctly, this guy was in Scotland on loan. He's come back and found a role for himself at Middlesbrough, but it seems to be a myth. Team Sport has said he's on the radar of Arsenal and Tottenham. And listen, we've got just because a scout might have seen him doesn't mean Arsenal are interested. It's about doing your homework, researching, and just knowing. Tottenham are monitoring the development. Palace, Tottenham, Leeds, West Ham, Wolves, all linked with him, people. And apparently Roma, Lyon, Leipzig, Atletico, Ajax are all looking at him. Managers and scouts look at players all the time. So I'm not going to say there's too much with it. He signed a new deal until 2025. So between him and Spence, Middlesbrough might make some peas this coming summer period. Let's start closing that. Emil Smith-Rowe insists Arsenal will not get carried away in race for fourth, despite making it back-to-back wins since returning from the mid-season break. Like you can see here, Smith-Rowe said it's looking good at the moment, but there are a lot of games to go. We are just going to keep focused on that. We're not too worried about the end of the season. Smith-Rowe said, I'm buzzing. The goals are really starting to come now, but the most important thing were the 3 points. We're working so hard in training. after we are always working on our finishing, I feel like it's really starting to show. Come on, we are scoring goals, and I put it down to hard work after training. And you know, Smith-Rowe's bearing the fruits of his labor. He's changed his diet. You know, he's clearly listening to what Arteta is saying. He's working after training, and you know, eventually you might not see it overnight, but look at Jadon Sancho. He was probably doing things after training, and immediately you're not seeing stuff. But now, man's form is getting a bit better. You know, it's a long way to go, but we are a bit closer today because we have won our game, and that's what we have to do. We have to go again on Thursday. We need to prepare really well because going against Wolves is going to be a difficult match. You tell them, say it again. On the topic of Smith-Rowe, Mikel Arteta tips Smith-Rowe to play centre-forward role for Arsenal. I mean, I see you as our Kevin De Bruyne / Jack Grealish, but, you know, you're our top goal scorer, you know, really, you know, might as well. I could see why he would play the false nine ahead of Pepe because he more stays in central areas, but I'm not really here for it. He says Emil Smith-Rowe's future at the club could be as a central forward now. What Mikel Arteta has actually said and what the headlines say might be two very different things, but let's scroll all the way down. He can play as a left winger. He can play as a left attacking midfielder, right attacking mid. He can play as a 9 very, very well, I think. He's an intelligent lad, which is fair enough. He didn't say he's going to play, but yeah, man, the more you can, why not? If we can ever be in a situation like City where you see Kevin, Gundogan, Sterling, Bernardo, everybody just taking their opportunity through the 9 role in the game, why not? I would love to play like City where everyone can be a striker and whatnot. That's the territory we'd move in. But for now, Smith-Rowe, can we just work on being a number 10 and an inside forward? It's funny though, he didn't say he could play as an 8 despite he's used him there. I don't think right now he's experienced enough to. I think right now you and Odegaard are not really ready to play as an 8, but what you're doing works for us, Smith-Rowe, and we love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Saka the same. Away from that, from one, you know, baller to another, Mikel Arteta hints that humble Martin Odegaard could be Arsenal's next permanent captain, as he says everybody loves him. I mean, his mentality's spot on. He's one of the most experienced players in and amongst inexperienced players. He's a captain of his country. There's a lot more to come for him, and why not? And, you know, why not? Why not? You know, I'm not on that. Like, listen, Odegaard's a captain. I'm more, you can be one of the 5 captains or do all of this other stuff we're doing. I'm more one a conventional captain, the Ramsdales, the Tienis, potentially Gabriel, depending on how advanced his English is. But you'd be up there. I think you're a guy that we can look at and say, yo, get them going and whatnot. But Arteta has hinted that Odegaard could be the next permanent Arsenal captain after hailing the determination of the Norway international. The 23-year-old, as we know, had a superb game against Brentford, having a good season generally. You know, the only thing he can't do is slide tackle in the box. We had a period with him where we could evaluate what Martin could bring to the club. We had no doubts. The club was brilliant to secure him in a really convincing way. Martin was really happy to join us because he had a good time here. Bring Haaland. I'm playing. He felt valued. He enjoyed what we are doing. He's got a really good connection with the players and the supporters. He wanted to be part of the project since he's getting better and better. And I'm not surprised. The way he lives his profession, the way he likes to play football and everything he does is to become better. He still has a big margin. He wants it probably more than anyone else on that pitch. Every day he'll be top. And I do get it. He's got hunger. I do think he's got desire. But as I keep saying, one thing that people look at him and say, you're not really the captain, is he's a pretty boy. Blonde hair, blue eyes, could be a model in it, really and truly. I'm sure, you know, of all the Arsenal players, I'm sure the girl supporters but maybe some of the boys, you can do what you like. I'm sure he's one of them that's got the posters and whatnot. But I do think he's on that rugged stuff. He presses well. He opens his mouth when he needs to. I think you're not necessarily a captain, you're a leader, but to be a captain, you've got to be a leader, I guess. So yeah, man, wonder of a left foot. Love the guy. He's an absolute baller, really and truly. As you know, we don't have a permanent captain. He certainly has all the qualities to do that. Talking to his national team coach and how highly they speak of him. He walks through the corridor and everybody loves him. He's such a nice, humble guy, and he leads with the way he is. It is natural, and that will come to him. And he's a good guide point. You know, at 16, he's had to deal with a lot of pressures. That you're going to be the guy. You're not the guy. You're a flop. You're not. You're one of the most experienced players in our team. You're inexperienced in yourself, learning the tricks and trades of yourself, but you are one. It's a bit like Ben White. This is your 2nd season in the Premier League, but you're one of the more experienced players. Ramsdale and Tomiyasu, for me, are the same. Obviously, we all know the experienced players are the Xhakas, the Partys, the Cedrics, etc. But if I'm real, them lot, I have more faith in the younger players because these lot are very inconsistent. You know, these I don't know. They're very hot and cold. Xhaka and Partey, they might do something very different against Wolves. I've got some sort of belief in consistency with the Smith-Rowes, the Sakas, the Martinellis, the Odegaards, and so on and so forth. And that's not to disrespect the experienced players. That's just what I'm seeing. I can't say anything different. He generated expectations when he was 16 as well. Everyone wanted him. And then he had to fulfill that in a club where, like Madrid, the competition is like it is. It's extremely difficult, but now he has found his place. He found love in a hopeless place. That's all I'm getting from that. But now he's found his place. He is really happy here. He has his environment. He has the people. He has the time on the pitch to enjoy it. And I think that's what he's doing. Well, tell the next Norwegian Haaland, well, you can enjoy it with him as well, really. Or tell the actual Haaland, come on, man. You know, it's easy to go Madrid and do a line and do a link up with Mbappe. If you want a real challenge, come to the carpet, man. Show that you can be the number 9. Show that you can take the cursed number 9 shirt and bring it to glory. I know Haaland ain't trying to hear that stuff, but it is what it is, people. That's that for the current, I want to say current affairs, quote unquote current affairs, isn't it? Really and truly current affairs, people. Smith-Rowe false 9. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. Appreciative to you lot that is tuned in. Let's scroll the way back. DG was screaming for Kulusevski for time. Oh, he's a baller, man. 252 people watching, only 7 likes. Bloody hell, man. Bloody hell, doing me so dirty. What's all that about? What else we saying? Run it up. Come on. Tierney captain for next season. Xhaka is definitely a leader. Eddie should have known he was next in line after Laka. I'm not reading into the Xhaka armband thing. Hard work and link-up play is something that is expected. We need Laka to score goals. Goals win games along with defending. But at the same time, bro, he's shown he's not a goal scorer. Why is it not coming up? Sorry, people. What the hell? What do you think of the situation at Leicester? By the time we face them, they might already have a new manager. I don't know. I think it's the end of a cycle. I think they've had injuries, and also the recruitment hasn't been the best, really, especially in the back line. I just feel it's the end of a cycle, really. They've had a fantastic 3-4 years. They either need to give Brendan Rodgers the time to adapt and change it, or he needs to move on, man. Really, if I'm honest with you, or something needs to go down. You're right, though. Big up DG. 3 points is vital on Thursday. How confident can you be in our goal scoring ability? I'm not really confident in our goal scoring ability because I'm just the purple patch of Smith-Rowe, Hope, Saka, and Martinelli can do everything. We ain't got goal scorers like that. We've got players that are learning to score goals. But yeah, man. Big up DG. It's a scorcher down here in South Africa today. One love to the South Africans and whatnot. Why are we so bad? You'd have to ask Arteta. Have a bit more optimism, Arteta. You're allowed your opinions, but I just get the vibe you're not here for talking. You're just here for chatting. With Champions League football, we could get him. You know, I don't even think Champions League will be enough, but Champions League will be a major part to help convince players. Barca have been chasing him for time. Doesn't hurt to try, but my money is on him going to Barca, as they should. As well, I don't know if he was there, but we did a watch along for the game, and we're Napoli and Barca, and we said, well, they shouldn't let him go without talking to his agent. When I used to be a scout, if there was a game like that, you just got to go, oh, sorry, mate, where's your dad? You know? You find out that's what it's got to be. You got to find who's his agent's dad and make sure he comes to the club. I want Basuma or Neves, preferably both, so Partey has some comp. Reports say 60 million, great replacement for Xhaka. I mean, I don't know if it'll actually happen. Please, not Morata. I don't know why it's not bringing up your comments, man. This is jarring, man. I think the rain is starting to beat up the internet. That's just a quick find. We need to move past that. Shamaka or Schrick, better options. I'll take Shamaka. I'd take Schrick over Morata all day. I'd leave them both alone then if that's the case. There's no point bringing Morata to be back up. Players like Morata remind me of these influencer babes. Everyone knows what they're about, yet still shared by anyone and everyone in the industry. Bloody hell. Spence wasn't good enough for Bra, but somehow he's good enough for all these top clubs. Make it make sense. It's not as easy and basic as that, you know. Kante couldn't get a club at one point, and now look where he's gone on. Salah couldn't get a game time. So football's a funny old game of opinions, but I do think there's, you know, people are gassing for Spence a bit, you know, seems to save it for the highlights. Odegaard our back as captain. I'd rather just have, can we just get a normal sort of captain thing? But I hear it, man. I didn't watch the All-Star game. Aubameyang got a hat-trick, scored a brace, and then Pedri's goal got credited to him. Big up him. You know, you love to see it. Why not? Would you take Maguire at Arsenal? Not really. Picture it. Champions League 0-0 after extra time and it's going to pens. Who would you rather give the team to? Tierney might be the guy. Oh, well, I don't want a single voice. I want everyone to stand up to be counted. Maguire could be there for the squad, but you know they're gonna ask for a pretty penny, and it's just not worth it, is it? Really and truly. What else are you lot saying? Could we play without a striker like City? Yeah, if you've got the prestigious midfielders like them and you've got quality players like that to make up the difference elsewhere, we haven't quite got that. So we either need to find a striker or aspire to move into that situation, really and truly. Smith-Rowe and Martinelli swapping between striker and left wing could be a nightmare for defenders. It could be. Oh, fuck's sake. What's going on? Would you take Norris from Gladbach? I did a video on him. Why not? But I'd say I've gone off the boil a bit now. Smith-Rowe's a baller. The sky's the limit. Future of England. I hope so. Hopefully it's the future of Arsenal first. I mean, Martinelli should be on the best of days. Martinelli should be training as a number 9. We need options, man. You know, let Smith-Rowe train as a false 9. Let Martinelli do it, and why not? Things might happen, man. Do you see Smith-Rowe and White going to Qatar? I don't know, but for me, I defo think Ben White needs to be there, especially when you see what Tyrone Mings is doing. You know, I think Ben White, Ramsdale, Smith-Rowe, Saka, I think they should all be on the plane, really and truly. 1 second, people. Ring is going off. I'll be right there in a second. Amazon documentary. Coming right back. Hey, kitchen set that's gonna slap. That kitchen set is gonna slap. Sorry, people, man. Boring. What have you said? Hey, come on, man. Heading for a much needed trim to look like you. You could never look like me, Omar, but shout out to you, man. Next week, you look like yourself. You can't, you know, God didn't share this sexiness. You get me? Took his time with this one. I'm sure you're doing your thing, but you get it. It's one of them, man. Just be the best you could. If you could take one player from United, who would it be? Paul Pogba, Jadon Sancho. Big up yourself. I don't know. Wirtz is doing quite well at Leverkusen. If you don't put the money down, you're gone. Simple as that. You pay the piece, you can have the players. It looks like Wirtz is going to go Bayern Munich at some point anyways. Smith-Rowe, false 9. I mean, if anyone's got to do it, it'd be Martinelli for me. But I wouldn't be against Smith-Rowe playing against it. I can't lie, I'm probably more on that than Pepe. And if I'm not really convinced with that from either party, really. And look at Sky Sports blowing things out of proportion once again as well. Ridiculous. Sorry, there's a good question there. If we get 5th or 6th, do you consider that a failure? No, because we finished back-to-back 8th. It's nothing to scream at the rooftops about, but it's I don't even want to say step in the right direction, but it's moving forward. Man, I said DG's kids in the background. My niece more like running up and down. The Love Island. Bro, Sancho is wavy, man. What else are we saying? I already answered the All-Star game. Big up Aubameyang for his hattie. You know, Piers Morgan being the reactionary prick he is. And just rewriting history. What else is going on in the Arsenal news? I mean, our social media team are at their antics once again, which is brazy. Brozovic signs a new deal for Inter Milan. Don't care about that. Odegaard or Tierney for the captain. No one else seems to have the courage to command the team. Maybe TT. Ramsdale is far too back to influence the game as a captain. No, I'm not too sure that really makes sense, if I'm honest with you, you know, because Tierney's in defense. I know he flies forward, but no, really and truly. Nah, man. You know, I don't think it really affects that. I don't think they're the only two options. I like the fact that we're having this conversation. We've gone from saying we lack leaders. You know, for me, there's numerous players that could take it. I would not make it Xhaka, but due to the fact that he's contracted for a while and what Arteta does, then I've got to just say Xhaka's name. It's not it for me, but Xhaka's got to be there. You know, Ramsdale's got to be there for me. You know. Thingy's got to be there. Gabriel's got to be Ramsdale, Gabriel, Xhaka. What's his face? Like you said, Kieran Tierney, Martin Odegaard. There's a lot out there. Gabriel, if I haven't said this, there's a lot. Rob Holding's clearly rated as a leader. Again, he's never going to scratch the surface with the first team. Tomiyasu. I think Tomiyasu, not really, if I'm honest. You know, I don't really feel you could say Tomiyasu. If Tomiyasu's name's there's a lot of names that could be thrown in. Unpopular opinion, I think that Tomiyasu's looked a bit fearful at times. Doing his thing, though. I'm not saying he can't be there, but I'm not too sure on that one. I saw that. Big up Aubameyang. Too bad that hat-trick couldn't have been for us. You know, at some point we saw Aubameyang score his last goal, and we never knew for this club, and we never knew it. It's crazy. It's a failure if we don't get top 4, Richie Rich. By the time Qatar comes around, we might have 4 Arsenal players in the starting 11. What England do is none of my concern, really and truly, man. Where are you going to put Fabian Ruiz? Not sure. Rob is a dressing room leader. I hope Amari Hutchison, Charlie Patino, all of these sort of things do what they, you know, all these sort of guys get their opportunities, man. I don't remember as well. Tomiyasu's still learning the tricks and trades of his game as well. I'd say Tomiyasu, a couple games have showed you his age. We've got to remember Ramsdale as well, as advanced as they look. Odegaard as well. We've got to remember these men are young. I don't like to always draw to the young thing, because at 23 years of age, like what Jose was saying, you look at Lampard, you look at half these guys, the 23-year-olds of them days, forgettability are very different to what they are now. I mean, Renato Sanchez is welcome to stay at Lille if he wants. Ruben Neves, you can come if you want. Would you take another highway situation with Pogba? I think that's the only reason we won't go in for him. But when a player of that quality is available, you have to make it happen. We've got no chance of signing Paul Pogba. Like, let's just wrap that one there. Like, no matter what he says about I want to stay Prem, we ain't got a chance. If Pogba is available, you get it done, innit? And he's going to come with high wages, and you'd have to work with Mino Raiola, which probably means that's not a thing. But on ability, bring them in. Bring them in. Alisson or Ramsdale. Can Ramsdale do it on a cold night at the Emirates? I mean, nobody wants to talk about it, but you see Ramsdale's, it's not coming up now, but you see elements of Ramsdale's game. His positioning at times, his distribution has been shaky at times, as great as it's been. That's not a criticism, that's just looking. But everyone's going to waffle about it. When he makes that glaring, evident mistake, that's when people are going to be like, what's going on there? And again, we're not saying this to agenda people and all of these sort of things. But as good as Ramsdale is, there's no world he's better than Alisson or Edison. You've got to do it for years to be with them, man. Really and truly. No, I don't know where this is, man. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible. You know, you can be as optimistic as you want. It's impossible. You can try and fight me and do all of this. Well, we got a chance. We can put it's impossible. Paul Pogba to Arsenal is impossible. It's impossible. It's not happening. I'd love it to be wrong. I definitely hope I'm wrong. It's impossible. You know, man are talking about Paul Pogba every now and again. There's Haaland shouts. So come on, man. Like, come on. Ramsdale's a good player, and this is the tour territory we're in. We're not going to get finished articles. Paul fucking Pogba at what, 28, 29 years of age to Arsenal Football Club, spending his prime here. And on top of that, forget the ability, like the commission that's going to come around it. To be fair, out of all the big money mistakes we've made, I'd rather try it for Paul Pogba, but no. And you've just been in, you might as well stay at United then, two teams in shit situations. Like, if you're going to join a Premier League team, if it couldn't happen, well, anything can happen. I'm trying to see if he's on snaking it. I'm trying to play for Pep Guardiola. I'm trying to do what Liverpool's doing. If I'm joining any team that's not them two, probably he's more likely to join Chelsea. They've won the Champions League. They've won the Prem. Two things that's eluded him, and he's never been close to really getting at Man United, despite finishing second one year. You know, come on now. Come on now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. I would love him, but come on now. You know, how old is he? 28. Maybe in 3 years. Who knows, man? I think Oba bagging a hat-trick is more of an indictment on La Liga than it is on Arteta. Or unpopular opinion for everyone that's doing this, using Aubameyang scoring to score points. Or the man's just had a good game, scored goals. It's got nothing to do with Mikel Arteta. It's got nothing to do with the league, you know. Aubameyang might have been poor for the last 18 months. He's been bagging goals for fun in this league. It's not making sense. Like, it's nothing to do with Aubameyang or the league or Arteta or anything. He's just scored some goals. He's doing what he's doing. Like, he's enjoying himself. He's playing. He's scoring goals. We're doing what we're doing. That's the end of it. Like, because when shit man are coming here and bagging it up, what we saying? I don't know if I'm the best out here, my guy, but I just appreciate that you lot here. To Newcastle, you know, if he wants a payday, why not, man? Give us Latoro or someone else. Boy, it could be long if he links Kante, boy. That France partnership there, man. DG, is there any room for Gnabry in our current project? Maybe a Pepe replacement. Rate Gnabry. Gnabry comes into the team. It's way. Someone on that left or right wing's not playing. Or then again, he can play as a false nine. So there you have it. But we're not getting Gnabry. I hope to God. I don't buy Gnabry's BS about Arsenal will be first on the list. I hear it. I want to be wrong, but boy, if I remove my Arsenal cap on, if people said you're interested, you'd listen to Arsenal. But are you picking Arsenal over City if they offer you stuff? Are you picking Liverpool over Arsenal? Are you picking, it all depends. And Gnabry in his prime as well, I'd be questioning, why are you picking us? Because, yeah, you can be doing it for the love and all of that Disney Channel stuff. But once you move beyond that, you know, like life is beautiful, but sometimes it's mucky and ugly. And I look at why, you'd have to question why, really. Pogba's a baller, but myth, man. How good he can be. It's now or never, man. If you're not there at 28, unlocking Pogba volume, whatever now, ain't really. Alwa, Fabian Ruiz, Bruno Guimaraes, Arthur Melo are players with similar profiles. I like the fact we're linked with proper eights, but at the same time, why didn't we sign one of them? It's worrying. I don't know. The fundamental thing you said is we didn't sign one in it, so this is where I'm at. 5. Do you think Osimhen could be the number 9 that suits? I like Osimhen, so yeah, man. Why not? I think we should replace Xhaka with an attack. very jarring. No clue what happened there, but we got again, man. I don't know what happened there. I'm using my iPhone. I went on my internet. Yeah, bro, electric. No, I'll pay my bills, man. Why kids cut off my Wi-Fi bill? No, mate. No. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I went downstairs. The lights are orange. It is what it is. Bro, your image is freezed in the video. I appreciate it. But it's like, I don't know what you lot want me to do when that happens. DG, think we should go for Ruiz. Why can't we just go for Basuma? Has everything we need. Does he really? You know, I do think he's more progressive than people give him credit for. But, you know, I'm open to another 6. Lokonga's still learning. Partey is extremely inconsistent. But is he the number 8 we need? No. Could you say a 6 is a priority? Yes, but not necessarily. So while I would take Basuma and he takes us up a level, in my opinion, it's a myth, really. I trust it is all the people who didn't hit the like button, man. Is what it is, man. We're back again, man. Hey, what? Yeah, that's not making sense, bro. Can we, when we're commenting, can we make some common sense? You're ruining the show. Can we have some normal questions? Trust, hella unlocking. But yeah, moving away from all of that, what other things are you lot saying? Should I type in Arsenal once again? This internet cannot stop me. They can only temporarily stop the guy, man. It's like Bukayo Saka. You can foul him, you can triple up against him, but at some point in that game, it's peak for you lot. Shout out to Jack Wilshere once again for getting a new club, be it in Denmark. We know El Nene never got a move. We know Aubameyang scored a hat-trick. Trying to see if there's anything else Arsenal related. Doesn't look like such, man. Come on, back again, man. Back again. We need 2 mids with El Nene leaving and 2 strikers with Lacazette and Nketiah leaving. A centre back, backup right back, centre mid, 2 strikers if Laka leaves are priorities. Ruben Neves or Ward-Prowse is the 8 we need. I wouldn't say necessarily need, but they would help us. Hell of a lot. So desperate to get a club, man. Chatting shit, man. Like, well, man, I just type in that. Do you know how jarring that is? Like, because when I get annoyed, it ruins it for other people, man. Like, you're just slapping your keyboard and just typing F and shit. It's a cold world, man. Ruthless thing. Random question, 40 question, DG. Which is the most underrated team you've seen in the last few years? Atalanta is one for me. That's a difficult one. I've liked what I've seen with Atalanta. I've liked Villarreal. I've liked Sevilla a couple of years. There was Leicester a couple of years. I wouldn't say. Underrated for me means a team that I don't feel gets plaudits. Yes, DG. Would you not play Pepe a lot more as he done? I'd give him a lot more game time. Like, bring Anthony. The Ajax one, bring him. Martial and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, both Premier League proven players. This Premier League proven stuff. Willian was Premier League proven. You know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin probably addresses what we need, but yeah, man. I agree we need 2 strikers, but that's self-inflicted. We'd be open to Lacazette extension so we can start that midfield. I mean, if Lacazette's just going to be a body, then why not? But to play devil's advocate, with Lacazette, we know goals are not a thing. Respectfully to Lacazette, goals are not what he's going to live or die by. So it's just about working hard. If you can't find a young striker that can score goals long term, but in terms of link up play and all that hasn't got that and hasn't got scope to grow, then the bar's on the floor. For me, you find one of them that could be in the squad, play games where you need to rest whoever this new striker is, and bring the new striker in or start Project Martinelli. Do you think Simeone will transform Arsenal even though he's defensively minded? I mean, he could, but he's not here, so it's irrelevant, man. Would you take Pedence? Good player, but it's like, for what? He's a good player, but for what? For the squad, why not? But right now, we need to address evident areas. If you're not a number 8 specifically, if you're not a number 9 specifically that do the jobs of what them roles are meant to do, then for me, it shouldn't necessarily be a priority of this football club, whether I like the player or not. Unless they're amazing and they're better than what we have, and you have a fantastic, like, if a prime, we don't necessarily need a winger. I'm open to it, but we don't necessarily need it. If Alexis Sanchez became available, the prime Alexis, just to paint a picture, I'm all for that. A question to you: with Spurs' current form after scoring Man City, do you think we can still get top 4? What current form though? They beat City, and that could be used to galvanize them and take them up the table, and whatnot. But what current form from Spurs? What current form? It's a great result, great result, but they're still chasing a 3-2. They're still coming away from this with back-to-back defeats, 3 defeats on the spin, in fact, really. Chelsea beat them 2-0, lost 3-2 to Southampton, lost to Wolves, beat City, City with a team that came onto them unlike the others, should have lost against Leicester, didn't though, credit to them, What I would say, dealt with Brighton in the FA Cup. What I would say is that's a good result, but the form hasn't been there. I'm not even trying to belittle Spurs. It's like, what? It could galvanize them, but for it to be galvanized, they now need to go on a run and beat Burnley away, beat Leeds away, beat Everton. These are all winnable games on paper. Beat United. That's what's going to show me stuff. No one's really shown me enough. So I wouldn't, of course, if Kane finds his form and Spurs propel on this moment and go on to do things, but they've won a game. As great as they've done the double, they've beaten City, something we didn't do. We're getting a pat on the back for trying hard. They got 3 points. I'm not belittling it, but they got 3 points. I will start to get scared if in the next 3-4 games they pick up 9 to 12 points. That's where I'm like, okay, cool. Not that I'm saying Spurs, I'm not fearful of any of the teams, because Spurs, West Ham, United, Wolves, we're all fighting for this 4th to 6th place. So I'm not too sure on that. I wouldn't say Podence wouldn't bring anything to the table. He's very skillful. He can create stuff. He'd be a good squad player. But is he a striker? No. Is he a number 8? No. Am I prepared to bring him in to be a squad player? Why not? But is he, is he a player that plays in the same role to the point where I wouldn't mind bringing him in to the detriment of Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, Saka? No. So there we have it. City slapping 120 plus down for Kane off the back of that performance. It'd be great if they did. I like Patrick Schick. I'm not really convinced with him though. Do you think selling Saka / Martinelli would give us more funds to fill holes in the team? Yeah, but would be, we'd have holes. You'd have no left. You'd be weaker on the flanks. So you'd have to bring in wingers. I was happy United won, but you guys and Spurs worry me a lot. Everyone should be worried of everyone. Everyone should be worried of themselves as well and of self-capitulating, in my opinion. You don't do that, you'll be good. Really. 108. 4. Of Kane's a baller, man. Pedro Neto would be an interesting one. I think he has potential to convert into a striker. I hear that, but I'd rather us just buy a striker that is a striker. Smith-Rowe number 9. I'm not against it, but we should make Odegaard a permanent deal, settle it, secure it. Odegaard as a permanent deal. No clue where you've been, but Odegaard became an Arsenal player permanently last summer. No clue where you've been, but fair enough. Hopefully now you've got the answer to that. 173 likes, 300 of you locked in. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Unexpected high bills. We have secured Odegaard on a permanent deal. I don't know. Maybe he's stuck. That Lukaku Kane debate looking brazy right now. It's never been brazy, bro. Lukaku's never been able to talk to Kane at all. Like, he scores goals on that, but Kane drops deep. He can bring goals and assists. I think he's more intelligent as a footballer, and I don't like that whole intelligent thing. But yeah, man. No Premier League midfielder has scored more goals than Smith-Rowe this season. Oof. Boy. What other things are going on? Danny Murphy chatting shit. Don't want to hear none of that. Don't want to hear none of that. Nothing up. Football IQ is a real thing. Some players just don't have the brain. Lukaku's never needed to. Odegaard or Tini as the next captain, they definitely should be there, man. Definitely should be in with a shout. Gabriel should get a new contract ASAP. How long has Gabriel got on his deal, though? Gabriel. Something tells me you're 2024. 2025. So maybe in a year from now, Gabriel's will be a priority. Imagine Gabriel, all of these guys. You know, one thing I do like about our club, it's got to stay. But when we're starting to understand now that you've got to keep renewing deals, like we did with SMITH-ROWE, we did with Tierney. We're hopeful to we did it with Saka eventually, but we hope to do it again with Saka. And I'm probably missing out a couple of names. Odegaard is a captain's debate, a captain's shout. Watching Kane while we got Laka is depressing. Ooh. Depressing's a very. Let's be careful with using these words. Your opinion on Arteta making Odegaard permanent captain? He hasn't. I wouldn't be against it, but I'd rather have a more conventional captain than more a lead by example sort of thing. Do you think Saka will sign the extension generally if you have to put money on it? Good thing I'm not a gambler. I don't know. Have to see, really. I hope so. That's what I'll say. Big up DG. We should go for Prudence and Neves in the summer. Listen, Prudence is good, but I don't think we're gonna die if we don't get him. I don't think he fits what we need exactly right now. But by all means, if there's wages and money left over, why not make an attempt, man? Have to lock these men down early before bigger clubs start wooing them. It's not even that big clubs can woo them, just allow you to be in a stronger negotiating position, really, rather than getting nothing or pennies for players. Maybe you can get decent fees and then the world goes on. Boy, slow news day, man. Slow news day. I mean, Anguissa is a decent player, but I don't think we're interested in it. Yeah, we saw Aubameyang do his thing. Did I misread, or did Neves not take a dig? He said we're celebrating. I mean, he's got a point. We were celebrating like a lot, but I mean, to Neves will say, you telling me that we're not allowed to celebrate. I think fans are just getting in egos. I don't think that necessarily means he won't sign, but I understand why people might have a chip on their shoulder. But the grand scheme of things is crazy. With Arsenal having just one game to play every week, with others having cup/European comps, will it be a decider for top four? Of course, but you look at the Liverpool game that's been rescheduled now. We've got like 6 games in a very short space of time. 3 games, sorry, in a very short space of time. And to be honest with you, I get a bit annoyed when I see all of that, because if Arsenal want to be where the Cities and Liverpools are, look at Liverpool. Pardon me, they haven't got the biggest squad, but they're in every competition. That's the territory you've got to be in. You've got to be able to cope with being in, especially around the January-February window where you got FA Cup, if you're still in the League Cup, if you're still in the Champions League, and obviously whatever you're trying to do in the Premier League. It's crazy, man. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting conversation to have, really. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. 184 likes. If you have hit the like button, thank you very much. But so, yeah, man. Trust me, no hard feelings here, mate. Neves can celebrate with us next season if he felt left out. Trust. I'd go for Ismail Assar over Prudence. Hear you. Probably just leave them both, really. Rather go for one of them. Just go Brazil and find one of these young Brazilian lads. Same way we found Martinelli. Just find one of them with the scope, man. Hope we make a bid for a Conky, but I can't see it happening, man. Crazy. No news where Arsenal's concerned, people. So yeah, it's what it is, man. You know, I just hope we can beat Wolves. We're not going to win every game to the end of the season, but I think if we can get 6 points from our next 2 games, then there can be a bit more belief, man. I would love to go for Karim Adeyemi. He looks destined to go to Dortmund now, though, really. Let's get the likes up. Should be at 200. See, appreciative to you. Banging on the drum about that. 187. Wow, that's one of my favorite numbers. Can we move that to 200, people? What else is going on in the world of football versus Arsenal, then? Back in Sky Sports. Oh, we already know about that. Obviously, Phil Foden's mum. Disgusting scene. Shout Jack Wilshere once again. Signed for a Danish side, doing his thing. Who would be your top 3 midfield options? Be realistic. I don't know. I don't know for transfers. I don't know if it'll be realistic. I don't know about any of these things. If it's attainable to get Fabian Ruiz, get that. If it's attainable to get Ruben Neves, get that. If it's attainable to go back for Alwa, why not? I don't know. I don't know who's available. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is the strikers we're linked with. And if you could bring Isaac to this carpet, why not? If you could have brought Vlahovic, what you couldn't, I would have been very happy. You know, if you can do something for Jonathan David, why not? I'd rather, where it comes to midfield and up front, I wouldn't say there's a name I'm 100% convinced with. You know, can scouts do their jobs? Something like that. I mean, I've offered my thoughts on Fabian Ruiz. I'm not going to offer this. I'm not going to speak about it again, man. Really. Osimhen as well. You know, that could be, if you could get that one done, why not, man? We clearly need an 8. The 8's a priority. If you could bring a 6 to complement this side, I'd say 2 8s. Minimum. If you could bring 2 8s and a 6, why not? Or an 8 that's capable of just defending well when required, why not? The names, bro, the name should change. On one hand, the name should stay consistent. The name should, the name should be whoever they should be, regardless of where Arsenal get. On the other hand of that, though, yeah, like you said, whether you get Champions League, Europa, or no Europe, it all defines your targets, which is why I need Mikel Arteta, specifically Mr. Edu, to know what you're doing in the summer. Dot I's and cross T's. Are you signing for us if we get Europe? Do you want to sign for us regardless? If we get Europe, then we can be ambitious and try this. Which, again, I don't want to see athletic articles come out September the 1st, how we tried to do this. I need to see a midfield on a striker minimum, and we need to deal with a lot of outgoings as well. On paper, you've got to deal with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, 2023, Leno, Hector Bellerin, Lucas Torreira, if I haven't said that's 3 names beyond anyone else. Get it done. Get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. If you were Arteta between Smith-Rowe and Martinelli, who would you drop on the left wing into the Wolves game? Probably Smith-Rowe probably does not deserve to be dropped because he played very well in the last game and, was a bit unfortunate to not get his role back in the first team when he lost it, and he still remained our top goal scorer. So Smith-Rowe plays against Wolves for me. It's one where, again, I wish we could have 12 players, but you can't. Scouting and smart recruitment is necessary. Exactly. Last summer, one thing I liked, you actually bought players where they're actually decent. Apart from Ben White, because he cost 50 million. If none of these players worked out, we can make our money back. You're going to, Arsenal have some shit negotiating standards at times. Well, you'd imagine you can get 60 million back for Tomiyasu, whatever it was you paid for Tavares, 30 million on Odegaard, 30 million on Ramsdale, and so on and so forth. If I'm honest with you. Boy, form is temporary, class is permanent, man. Hopefully, Aubameyang can somehow find 20 league goals from now to the end of the season. 193 people, come on. 7 more people hit that like button. Change your fortunes. Don't forget, I'm live playing Football Manager at 4:30 tomorrow. Live from 7:30 on Twitch. We'll be watching the Champions League. I say Chelsea, Leo. I should put it down to a vote if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, man. 10 a.m. 7:30 UK time on Twitch tomorrow as well, people. 10 a.m., 11:30, 7:30, all the times, really, in terms of content between Twitch and YouTube. DG, do you think the Prem should swallow their pride and start bringing in higher quality rest from abroad? But I mean, the rest looks shit all over. But if you can get better managers, why not, man? Boy, if Aubameyang scores 5 league goals, I'm gassing up the thing, boy. Why not? That's my guy. I want Aubameyang. Unpopular opinion. I want Aubameyang to do well, and I'm happy Arsenal can move on from the cloud where you were fighting Arteta, you lot were beefing each other. It's dead, really and truly. I would love Makoko, but probably dream chasing. Did he not score the other day as well? Doing his thing, man. It'd be nice. It'd be very nice to have him. Really. One more like, people. One more like, and then I can go and eat my flipping lunch, people. Come on. I didn't want to bust out until 200. Brazy. I mean, I'm happy. Did you know what it is? I just want to see Aubameyang happy, really. I want to see everybody happy, really. It's brazy. Great, good question on the poll. Start Smith-Rowe on the left and Martinelli up top. Bundesliga refs are arguably the best from the lot of the big 5, but they are all still bad. So, yeah, refereeing just seems like a problem across all aspects. Where did we get to in the voting thing? So, if I end it now, you lot said Smith-Rowe. should start left wing. 54% have said Smith-Rowe, 34% said Martinelli, just 12% where Pepe is concerned. I can't lie, I thought a lot of you would have been banging on the praises and the drum a bit more about Pepe, just based on some of you lot's comments. I mean, desire is not enough to be captain for me, but Odegaard defo deserves to be in with a shout to be captain. It's nice that we've gone from where we can't see the leaders, we can't see the character, this, that, and the third to, yo, Odegaard can be captain. Tierney, Ramsdale, you know, even Gabriel has a bit, you know, even Ben White was coming into it with Lacazette. Xhaka is still a thing and whatnot, whether I like some of these or not, you know, it is what it is. And you need, every captain's different in it. You got the lead by example guys, you got the leaders who might not say much, but when they speak, you listen. Certain people just have an aura about them. Certain people are the conventional captains. It is what it is. Remember Pepe's saucy goal against Wolves last season. Hopefully he can do that. Just picked up Pepe on FPL back end of season purple patch. I hear you. But what I would say to counteract that, it doesn't matter any of that, even though you're right based on the last 2 seasons, Noah, but he's got to get on the pitch, man. Could you make a case Lack has been playing false 9? Bro, there's no case. He is playing false 9. Like, he is doing it. He might not be the false 9 I want to see, but yeah, man, Lacazzette's been doing that from last year. Lacazette's been doing it from before it was cool. Remember when fans used to get onto him, Villa away? Oh, Lacazette threat, he's dropping deep. He's a defensive mid. He was trying to do the Joe Linton conversion into midfield role before anyone. Lacazette's a pioneer, man. I'm telling you, Lacazette's a pioneer. They didn't just want to respect his thing. He's a pioneer in this, man. No, I'm joking. But on a serious note, he basically is a false 9. Smith-Rowe, but bring on Pepe earlier. Bring on whatever we require. I don't want to just bring on players just so I can say they got a game. If the game requires a winger or an outlet, bring him on. If it requires El Nene, why not? You think Liverpool will get over City? I don't know, man. I'd rather City win it because I don't know no City fans. I know Liverpool fans. I know all these things. City have been the best thing to happen to me in the Prem while Arsenal aren't doing anything. They can do what they're doing. It don't affect me like that, beyond the obvious. Blind faith, but I've had blind faith in Pepe for 3 years. Swear there's a player there, but we all know that. There's a player there, man. Odegaard, like I said, what goes against Odegaard? He's a pretty boy. I think he'll open his mouth and he'll say things when it needs to be said. Everyone's a leader in different ways, man. Tomiyasu, clearly a slightly different leader. I still think there's a bit more personality to come out in him as well. Pepe can't start for me. He gives the ball away too much. I hear that. And for me, it's just about balance, really. I'm not saying play the same guys, but I just think we have some balance in the team. So I can't advocate Pepe play there, this guy, that guy play there. And then when there's a lack of balance and we're not playing the same way, if we win, fair enough. But then fans can't have it both ways. Pepe should be a rotation option. My thing is just Pepe should get more minutes, just be involved more. Like, bro, Bear guys and girls probably listening. We all forgot Pepe's a footballer for this club. And that's a shame, really. Just wanting to play a bit more, really. Be involved a bit more, and let's see. 9 times out of 10, he's one of the players of the season in the second half, really. So let's see, man. Let's see what's going on, really. 210 likes if you've hit the like button. Thank you very much. God bless you lot. Hopefully you lot win the lottery and all those sorts of things, people. So despite the Pepe propaganda, as I said, out of the 522 votes, he's only scored 11%. Martinelli's just lost out as well, 33%. The majority of you have said to keep Odegaard. It keeps Smith-Rowe into the team. And that's even that. There was a time where you could say, you know what, maybe Smith-Rowe could go in for Odegaard on the bench, Martinelli through the middle. Now you can't really do that, really. You know, what I would like is if Odegaard could be moved into to a pivot, but that's not him. And again, these things unbalance the sides. Lacazette is an innovator, my bro. Man created the central defensive striker, false 6 position. Can't wait to see what else he has up his sleeve. Hey, and he's a dark arts master as well. Nobody does the dark arts like Lacazette. Anytime we've managed to twang VAR or something, Lacazette hasn't been too far from the crime scene, which I'm gonna miss his experience though, man. I do think there's a lot to like about Lacazette in the squad, but Lacazette's one of them players for me. I can't rely on Lacazette. You can bring something, but I can't rely on you. If you're a striker that doesn't get 20 league goals or your link-up playing to a certain standard, I can't rely on you. You're hot and cold. Pepe, I can't rely on you. Partey, I can't rely on you. Xhaka, I can't rely on you. You know, I like these guys. I don't think anyone's a bad footballer. The only guys I rely on is your name is Ramsdale, if your name's Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, Gabriel. I wouldn't say Ben White's in that yet, but he's getting there. The Halem boys, Martinelli, they're the only guys, and I might have missed a couple names. They're the only guys that have anything close to an expectation on in this team. Because Odegaard, because they're the ones that have showed me, man. I don't know for Lord Lacquer, that joke sounds shit, man. Are you now trusting the process? I've never not trusted or trust the process. I trust what I can see. You can't tell me trust the process because what's going to happen in 4 years if you're not showing me something today, you know, sort of thing. If you're showing me stuff, then I'll get behind it. But again, I need to see it. It don't mean free from anything. You know, I trust as far as I can see. When you're doing what you're doing now, it's all right. But I've seen us, we'll do little things to give you positivity and then do little things to make you think there's not such there. So time is a believer, really, until I can fully answer that question just as a yes, then no, a shout out to you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Would you rather get 2 new strikers or 1 but keep Lacquer as a number 2? 2 new dons. Lacquer's not here for longevity reasons, is he? Like, he's keeping it moving. So 2 new dons, really. Like, Lacquer's busting out, really. Anything can happen. There could be a contract and things like that, but it appears that the writing's on the wall, really. Sometimes no conversation can be conversation, really. And sorry, on Morata, people, he said, it's not important now that I had a conversation with Allegri about the Barca bid. He told me that Dusan's arrival would help me, and so it was. I'm happy to be at Juventus. If it was up to me, I'd always stay here. Fair enough. Do you think? Matters every point. Count. Let all talk now. Let our voices be heard 100%. There is a conspiracy against Arsenal. We should have had a clean sheet. I mean, I hear you. He was offside, broski. I mean, he was onside. He's onside. We done stupid stuff. DG, don't you think Balogun should go on a second loan? If he's not going to be given proper opportunities, I think there's a case for him to stay, because we ain't not going to, at some point, he's going to be the only recognized striker at some point. But on the other hand, you know, you're still develop. I think there is, as much as I like to keep young players at the club, I don't think it's healthy. You know how fans are. Every good or bad game, you're the guy or not the guy. And I think sometimes, not necessarily the fans, but the pressure of the club can get to man, where it's not that there's not pressure at Middlesbrough, but you're out of it. You know, you develop, do what you're doing. It's kind of healthy. There's every relevance for him to go out on loan for a full season and go and get football somewhere else. But I do think indirectly, at least for the first couple of weeks or something, he might have to hang around. Clearly, our transfer records improved from these shit names you're saying. As you get bigger on YouTube and Twitch, would you consider playing in those YouTube content creator 11 aside games? Why not? But is that for the real G's or them certain, you know, what I call the Tory content creator folk? We all know. Like, if that's for the real people, then, you know, if it's for the real ones, then why not, man? Yeah, I mean, if my life was on the line, I'd count on El Nene to play that backwards pass. If he's the one player I could say, if somebody says, the next action that a Premier League footballer at Arsenal, that an Arsenal player does in the Premier League, I'm going to blow your head off if you're wrong. I'll say El Nene is going to play a 5-yard pass. I know El Nene's got me, so you're all right, man. It would be, you know. I'm not against Balogun being part of the squad, but you're not ready, bro. But them Tory content creators there, man, them same ones that are all on the Sky News, you're not the same ones that are everywhere, man. Like, they're them Tory ones there, man. Like, if we're doing it with them, dead. If we're doing it with the people with the flavor, then why not, man? Man, the YouTube algorithm is unkind, shocking. You've not yet hit 50k with this content. You're gonna make a guy cry, man. Tougher the battle, sweeter the victory. You know how the thing set already, man. We're gonna get there. 50k on YouTube, 10k on Twitch. Support the thing, and one day, you know, we're gonna have a cigar on the live stream, and we're gonna have done it like we did it. Trust it. That's a process you can trust. You know, that's a process you can trust. With you lot together, we're unstoppable, man. On that note, though, gonna go eat. Gonna go hit the gym quick, and I'll be back at 4:30. Unfortunately, to play Football Manager. I'm not playing my Charlton save. I can't take the struggles of League One at this moment. I'm gonna run away to the Arsenal one. Last question though, man. Do you know any young players with the Kane skill set that we can nurture? Not off the top of my head, bro. So yeah, like I was saying, shout out to you lot. I hope you lot are doing well and safe. I hope everyone's having a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. It's Monday, innit? So if we start off the week as hard as we can, it gets easier. So I hope you've all had a great start to the week. Hope you've all had a good weekend. Hope this week is filled with your, achieving your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, and all of that sort of stuff, people. So yeah, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. I'll be back again at 4:30 once again. Make sure you're following across YouTube and Twitch, because tomorrow I'll be live at 10 a.m. on Twitch, 11:30 on YouTube, 7:30 for the Champions League game, whatever one we're going to be doing on Twitch. Same procedures as well, man. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So yeah, on that note, peace. You lot stay blessed. Hit the like button if you haven't. God bless to all of you who subscribed. If you haven't, make sure and hit the like button, man. Peace. Time to go get some lunch.
There's always just that active red light defending.
I think it's like